Last time Red was brought back to the world, and although it was progress, it also just resulted in a gigantic barren wasteland, a desert with constant sandstorms. This time, Green seems to be all about vegetation, life, vitality. Maybe something a little bit different coming up in this next area. Well, with the way that the game's been going so far, it does seem to be sort of an iterative type of way that this is happening. The gigantic gray area originally turning into red, which had different stuff. I guess those birds are a lot stronger than they look. Maybe should not have created so many in the previous area. Although that does also bring up the point that, yeah, you really can't go back these areas after you finish them, and I was informed that there was no way that you could do that, even at the end of the game. So here's all the stuff I missed in Red. Yep, and I will be continuing to do that in all subsequent episodes. Through the magic of a lot of saves coming. Stupid auto-saving. Oh yeah, you can already see a lot more stuff going on here. I mean, not only do you have all these mushrooms and little animals scurrying away from you, even the ground has that nice, I don't know, like sketchy quality about it. Looking pretty great. Does not stop animals from cowering in fear when you get near them, though. Stupid Jumpluffs. I think that's the second Pokemon reference I've made since I started this series, which is weird. I have not played Pokemon since the very first game. Dragonflies. Probably not the most qualified to be talking about that. Anyway, let's get on with this here. Yeah, the art style still very much on point in GRIS. Everything looks great. And it does, like I said, it is definitely one of the best parts of the game. I mean, just look at these trees. I'm pretty sure that this is not how trees work, but you cannot deny that that animation just is buttery smooth. However, that is also another thing that was brought up in the comment section last time, that it might be that... Oh wait, who's this guy? I'm not sure how that guy got out of Battle Block Theater, but sure, it's always good to see a cameo. Anyway, that was also something brought up last time, where it might be that this is a very, very simple story. I mean, one of the things that... One of the things that you might have seen in the previous... When I was showing you the catch-up section, is that, yeah, the Kubler-Ross model of grief, and, stages of grief, does clearly play a big part in this game, and might be kind of the only thing going for this story right now. I mean, it's hard to say, considering this is still very early in the game, but Nomada Studios might be kind of showing a pretty simple story, just with a lot of flair around it, a lot of really great art, music, everything like that. It's definitely something to kind of look at in the future to see if... Well, I'll screw that one up. And that one. But that did also have me thinking a little bit about that last time when I was talking about forced game mechanics into games that are otherwise meant to tell a story. It could easily be that this is just supposed to be a very, very simple, basic story, just told in a very pretty way. I don't know, it's something that I'm going to keep in mind as I continue through this. Anyway, the mechanics here are pretty simple. Disappearing blocks. If you liked them in Mega Man, you're probably going to love them here. No, nobody liked the appearing blocks in Mega Man. They were all terrible there. But hey, at the same time, if you're going to go for some basic... If you're going to go for some basic platforming type stuff, for example, using wind last time and now using blocks that appear and disappear, this is the way to do it. Which is to say, whatever, I'll get you in the catch-up section. That's clearly just a memento up there. Wonder if I'm going to get like a slipping and sliding ice in the next area. That would just be incredible. Let's go. And that's apparently the mechanic behind Hattie Haddington. So... You can never make friends with any of these guys, can you? Anyway, gonna be looking for a bunch of apples. I do know that one of the achievements in the game is feeding all of the apples possible to, apparently, this guy, I guess. Yeah, I'm trying to stay mostly unspoiled on a lot of this stuff, but nothing I do is completely blind because I learned my lesson doing one shot long ago. And also, I just want to make sure that this doesn't... I mean, this might be a puzzle game, mostly, but that does not mean that you can't waste a lot of time, you know, utterly failing on very simple things when it comes to puzzle games. Just go watch the Witness stream I did a while ago. Speaking of which, I should bring that back. I have been quite sick for the past day, so maybe something a little bit simple and more thought rather than reaction focused might be in order. That was an invisible wall there. You're not fooling me, Namada. Flailing your arms around while closing your eyes, the universal sign of happiness. Let's go. Now you got the blocky guy following you around, and... yeah, considering he has a gigantic block for a head, I thought so. And does jump, but a lot smaller than you do. But first... oh. Yep. Trying to get all of those apples, because then I won't have to do it later. But who knows? Come on, get up here. Need him to use his forest magic on these various stumps around here. It's definitely it's not that this didn't appear previously in the game. You did have the help from one of those trash can squid guys lifting up one of those rocks, but this is definitely a change of pace to actually have a character that follows you around, sort of being buddy-buddy. I mean, much more so than the 5 seconds that it took to... can't get through there, okay. And I guess that would be the tutorial that you can use that guy to stomp down, if you didn't realize that already. Yep. Wait. There's an apple up there. Oh. How did you do that? Alright then, sure, whatever. Hey, that works. There wasn't even like one of those magic stumps down there that he could have used to teleport around. And then there. Maybe having characters help you out in one way or another will be something of a theme kind of going forward as well. Or it could be that, considering that this area is supposed to be the area of... Okay. This area is supposed to be the life area, having a bunch of different creatures around here, and having one explicitly help you out is supposed to be part of the whole... Yeah, okay. It's supposed to be part of the whole theming of this, too. That's cute. The game is all about overcoming grief, and I suppose getting a little help from your friends could definitely be part of that. And one more apple over here. That might be all of them, because I don't really think that there's... The one area, otherwise, I think I could have possibly gone to was an invisible wall. That one cliff face that I saw earlier. So I'm pretty sure this'll be it. Maybe this would also be a time to have, you know, achievements show up on screen if I'm going to be so obsessed with finding them, but... if I can do game capture, I'm going to do game capture. I like his little Naruto arm animation when he's walking behind you. Oh, and I guess that's too small for me to go down? Sure. Fine, fine. I don't care. I guess that was him saying bye. Alright. Right back to the very beginning in stylistic terms here with the gigantic marble staircases and areas everywhere. Oh, and this appears to be another power-up. At least I guess they're all supposed to be giant squares? The geometric theme is a strange one, and I don't know if it means anything or if maybe the... Oh, okay. Maybe Team Nomad is just a big fan of Line Land, which, sure, why not? That's great. And there did seem to be a whole lot of mementos to get in this area, so I'm not going to be looking forward to finding a whole ton of these over time. Yeah? That's a good tutorial. Because, yeah, you can't walk through this. You have to jump to be able to see that happen. Also, a distinctly red-colored area here. Does it mean anything? I don't know. Is this the anger portion of the forest? Does it mean that it's going to be very irritating to go through this section or something like that? Doesn't seem like it so far. Also, wouldn't quite say that this is a platforming staple, but I do remember seeing this sort of thing happen in the Mario Galaxy games pretty frequently. You beat block galaxy sort of stuff. I can't believe I'm screwing this up so much. There and there. Just fall down, and there's at least one memento. Memento. That's apparently what I said. Because you're always on the lookout for mementos. Mementos, no problems, is what they say, I think. No, nobody said that. Nobody has ever said that in their entire lifetime. You're probably right. Oh, and I guess the joke here is that if you go from this side, yeah, it just gets covered up by the foliage. All right, well, at least I picked the right one first. That'll be good. In the meantime, that's one of the star things. I need two of them, though, to be able to get into that area. And well, that's only one area even looked at so far. There'll be plenty more to see. It's a rather big forest, after all. Wait a second. This seems like prime area for a memento. Yeah, sure, why not? No? I mean, I guess more of these little mushroom guys, which is always cute, but not quite what I'm looking for. Also, interesting thing is that apparently the roots of these trees look the exact same as the canopy. So, they're symmetrical, I guess? Ah! I should have seen that coming, but I was too busy looking at those weird little... Yeah, you guys. They look like pots or something? Little clanking sounds when they're waving at me? Yeah, they're waving. I guess it must be friends of arm flailing block guy. Wait, what was over here first? No, just a little tiny area, I guess. Okay, fine. I was got to be on the lookout for those mementos. Just because I'm not technically getting all of them in one go this time doesn't mean that I'm not still looking to try to knock a few of them off the list if possible. Oh, hey! Couldn't have just let me down from the stump you fell down and... Okay, fine. Okay, fine. You gotta admit, though, that would have been funny if that happened. Anyway, let's get out of here. I wonder if you could have just gone right back to... If you could have hugged the wall there when you were falling down that side and gotten in there early. If you knew about that area. Maybe? Maybe not. Probably not. Same beam of light up there, too. I guess that's a double jump and a low, like glide, a lowered fall speed than when you're jumping. Okay, interesting. I mean, again, it's like as much as this game definitely sets itself apart with visuals and everything, it's still very much a platformer in the traditional sense. I suppose I should go over here first, since there clearly seems to be something. Ah, symmetry foiled again. And again, with the math, the sort of not math, geometry type of theme with the game. Of course, things are going to be symmetrical. That's a that is one of the most obvious things that they could possibly do in terms of that. All right, let's get up there. Let's do this for real this time. Honestly surprised that these trees can even hold my weight, considering that they seem to phase in and out of existence with absolutely no problem. I mean, they look like they're hollow with the way that animation goes. No. Okay. Can I just do a single jump and glide? No, I have to do the double jump to get the glide, it seems like. Oh, and it also seems like the double jump forces you to have the glide. You're not able to... Yeah, like the double jump forces you to have a glide. You're not able to hold down the button or something, even though I'm doing that anyway. Oh. Then you also get a Celeste-style super jump right at the end of that, too. If you hit up these... Yeah, I thought so. If you hit the, I don't know, group of 3 butterflies or something? Birds? I mean, I guess they kind of look like those black birds that I saw earlier. Well, that made their reappearance earlier. Wonder if I'll be seeing any more of those dudes. I suppose time will tell. I'm going to say yes, though. And I do also remember that there is, all the way back in the hub area, I pointed out in the very first episode that there were some butterflies. There we are. Then I pointed out that there were some butterflies floating out of one of the many jars around the upper right area. I'm betting that that will be something to look at when the time comes. Alright then, this is... Something about this just looks kind of weird. Is it me? I mean, the fact that there's just a gigantic circle with like a square in the... I don't know. I'm probably crazy. Hey, there's no treetop for that. I guess there kind of is. You have a couple of branches there. Usually the leaves only appear at the top of trees. Memento, I'm betting. Why did it pan over to this side? It makes it seem like this specific setup of trees means something. I mean, I can't go any farther. That's just a solid wall. But still, it's... The fact that the camera very explicitly panned like that was kind of unusual. Maybe in the third area or something, or maybe even later in this area. I'll have to follow one of those paths that those trees make, or something like that. Input a code. I mean, this doesn't really seem like the sort of game where you would have to find a code to input. But at the same time, this is a game where I did just get a double jump, so... Maybe it's not too proud to use some classic... No, you can't fall down that way. To use some classic video game shenanigans regardless. Okay, so this is all about waiting just until it disappears and then getting to the next one. And you can see that because it's clearly built for going left to right rather than right to left. But with the ability to float, it makes it no problem. Oh yes, Celeste is apparently light blue in... what language was that? Somebody did say that in the last episode too. Meaning that I do already have a 3 colors trilogy thing going on. Oh, neat. Now this is interesting because one of the things that has been kind of lacking in this area compared to Red, for example, is the statues of, the giant statues of women, which was a huge, huge theme earlier and now has just not appeared at all. Until now. I mean, if the idea is that this is supposed to be getting over grief to an extent, the idea that the main character would not be seeing those as often would make sense. But it's still showing up kind of... As I guess I'm getting into the second area. Wouldn't really surprise me if each of the areas follows a sort of same sort of idea of having a first half, then you get a power-up, then second half. Also, I think this is the first statue where the woman is not covering her face. Oh. Hey, guys. Well, can't say I didn't see something like that coming. Is this a boss battle? Am I doing a boss battle in GRIS? Because that would be just utter nonsense. Also, I guess they're supposed to be blackbirds, so confirmed. Gotcha. Okay, so it's more like an obstacle type of thing, but you can pretty clearly see how it works here. Did not think that I would be seeing the wind mechanic appearing again, and certainly not in... Yeah, got you. Certainly not in this way. Yes, and of course it's right after seeing the statues of the women. Seems appropriate, sure. Oh, come on. Fine, fine. I'm going to assume that I don't have to drop back down there too. Or maybe that is the 3 red things are just in case you do drop back down there. All right. Okay. Surprising lack of the blackbird around here. Is this now a stealth section? Because that would be interesting. Or, oh, am I supposed to do this? Not quite, but seems like I got the right idea. There we go. Gotta use the double jump. Okay. Interesting. So I guess if there was what you could consider a villain in this game, I mean, aside from grief, like you got it introduced right here, kind of. Sort of. Okay, I see. More floating stuff, and I assume that I'm supposed to be using the pound down as soon as I get to this section. Yes. Okay, great. And I pressed that a little bit too prematurely. I thought I was going to go way faster. I don't know why I thought that, considering that I've been going up against this bird thing for like 5 minutes now. And you have to be jumping to have it work. Okay. And just run right back over here. I'll get it this time. Seems like the way that it actually works is that you... if you're on the ground, you tumble over. If you're in the air, it just pushes you forward. Simple enough. It'd be pretty easy to do from this point, I would say. Well, then again, the fact that the sound appears to have completely cut out maybe says that that was the last that I'm going to be seeing of it. I always like when sound cues kind of play the game's hand a little too quickly as far as the release of tension goes. Symbolism. All right. Remember that the areas are not quite over until you get to one of the gigantic statues and stand on the hands of it. So the goodies. Also, it's interesting. I've only gotten 2 of the stars in this area. I got, what, 8 or so in the previous section? I guess it's not really consistent how many of each of the things you're going to be getting. All right. I should really probably have both of my... oh. I should really probably have both my hands on the keyboard at all points in time. Oh. Okay, then. Sure. Because I saw... Wait, is it gone? Yeah, it's gone. Okay. Because, yeah, I saw that there, and I was thinking, oh, that's probably the thing you're supposed to do. And it is! Kind of. You can stand on that one. Same thing, I'm assuming. Got beaten by a bell ringing? What is he, a symbiote? Anyway. And I'm going to take a guess at what's right up here. It's going to be fairly obvious. Yeah, so much like the last time, the colors sort of fall away for the more black and white right before the end of the area. Mm-hmm. Right there. Nice little bit of rain, and obviously next color is going to be blue. So it seems like we got a water level. Not quite the ice level that I was expecting, but also not entirely dissimilar. I always gotta have some of those swimming sections in platforming games, even though they tend to be the worst parts of them. Oh well. Although, yeah, you can't actually swim here. Which, that's fine. That's not really the worst thing either. Unless it's going to be the next power-up. I'm not saying it's not going to be. I think that this might actually be the earlier part of the area, and that this was one of the trees that had the disappearing canopy. It's kind of an interesting way to have that replaced. Because I swear I recognize some of this or something. And also, I did do a pretty clear loop back as I was going around. Oh, no, I guess you did actually keep the regular disappearing canopy stuff. Very difficult to see. And... okay, you know what? Considering that there is very clearly a just lower path, this probably just goes to a memento. I'm going to say, yeah, there it is. Oh, so close, too. That's too bad. No problem. Just get it on the second go. In the meantime, I am fairly certain that I'm going right back to the hub world right now to deposit my 2 stars into the constellation. Yeah, I know. Real, lot of stuff gotten done this episode. Although I was walking on top of this structure that I'm underneath right now when I came into this world. I guess this is the one area in... oh, that one just forces you forward. Neat. Yeah, I guess this would be the area right before you got into the hub world in the very first section of the game. Which is now entirely underwater. Which makes sense because there was one memento that I had to actually look up and it said, oh no, you want to come back here later. And I can kind of see why now. Especially because the only thing blocking you from going back to this area to get that other memento was this, which was impossible to jump over. Not so much now that I got the double jump. And that'll do it for right now. However, I do want to go check out this up here before I end the episode proper. Between the double jump and the ability to use this now. Guess I'm supposed to go over here? Kind of? That'll be something to look at later. Until next time, when I conquer Blue.